Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. We're going to be running an inner voice. So if you've watched a previous video on how to run your first scan, I walked you through running an easy scan. Today we're going to run a general inner voice and discuss a little bit about how to read it. So you'll click on inner voice. I'll show you the difference between these. This little, just the microphone, is going to give you just the emotional side of things. So it'll give you the audios, and then it will give you the header imbalances and then your positive and negative emotions that you could be feeling. It will not give you the 4 categories on the bottom. This one runs inner voice and the vitals. So it looks at the potential causes, the top emotions, the I can't think of the other thing, vitals and body systems and suggestions. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. It will count down from 4, 5, and then it will pop up a thing to allow to use a microphone. On my computer, it always pops this up. So it just kind of gives another second. I recommend taking a nice deep breath and just kind of clearing your mind, calming your mind. And then, as we have learned before, we want to say I am in your name because I am is the most powerful word you can speak. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you how it runs. I am Emily Mailer. It is Friday, March 8th at 6:34 in the morning, and I am running an inner voice scan so that I can do a tutorial. And then it will run through each of the notes, and you can see it's running through like all of the different things for each note. The vitals, the physical, the emotions, the causes. And it goes through each of, oh, and the suggestions. And it goes through each of that for each of the notes. The biggest thing, again, I'm going to start repeating this on all my videos to remember, is that everything is energy and this is a frequency educational device. This is not a diagnostic device. So what comes up on your report is very educational. The emotions are always spot on for me. The other aspects, sometimes we have to kind of read a little into and or not read a little into and just be okay with the fact that our body's moving and shifting and using it as education. So this is what pops up, and you'll click on reports, and the report will load. And as usual, you always, always, always want to email yourself a report if you are wanting to track anything, because once you run the report, again, your previous one will disappear from the system. So if you want to do any type of tracking, you want to make sure you're emailing. If you're doing things with clients, you want to make sure you email it to them. I personally do email my client reports to myself as well, so that if I need to help them through things in the future, then I can. So this top part up here is pulse tones or classic tones. Pulse tones looks like this. It gives you your emotional notes out of balance and the ones that will bring them back into range. There is a slider for music, a slider for frequency, circle. I personally love to hit auto mix, and it'll change all these things down here. So this is your kind of like your beat. So it's how quick or slow or all the things for the frequency, how fast it's going. This is the sound wave. This is the music that is behind it. You can choose. And then this has to do with another aspect of the frequency, and I can't remember what it does. So then you'll just hit pulse cycle, and then it will play. So I'm gonna hit pause, and I'm gonna listen to it later. So that's pulse tones, classic tones, which I'm not gonna load, but it will show you the same information here. And then you just hit play and it plays through each one of these notes for 3 minutes each. With pulse tones, it plays these notes like 8, it'll play 8 8 for A sharp, and then it'll move to E and play 8 8 and then move to C. So it just kind of continuously goes through, which is why they've been able to make it into 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or continuous. And it's just, I just feel this one is a lot more customized and specific to what you're needing in the day, especially this auto mix. I mean, sometimes I get a super zen one. This is supercharger. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I need to get my body moving. There is a little info button here. It kind of shows you which note is out of range and supportive notes. I love all the educational pieces. Up here, if you click on the question mark, it'll tell you a little bit about inner voice, give you some instructions, give you a little bit of a view, and then look, like you can see all of these different things. I can tell you what the 9 is. 9 is the octave, the octave that support that it plays at. And then a quick video they've made for how to run an inner voice scan. This, I love that they have hidden it because it was confusing a lot of people. You do not have to look at this, but this will show your average frequency and your pulse. This is not like your actual pulse. This is not, but they haven't at this point on this day haven't given us a lot of information on what these things mean. They're kind of learning and testing these things so that they can give us more information. This is your chart, which I'll review in a little bit here. It tells you about yourself. Then it walks you through a little bit about what inner voice is, how it works, how to use it. And here are the colored glasses. You'll see that there's an option to use glasses and color therapy in supporting your emotions. All right, so here's the chart again. The numbers is, Lauren has recently explained this as like your volume. This has the different notes, and it looks at over 10,000 or around 10,000 frequencies in your voice, and then focuses most on 2,000 that are most out of range, and then kind of develops this report essentially. So you can see the top high frequencies and the top low frequency. The high frequency is emotions that are being overcompensated for, typically emotions that you're dealing with right now and different things like that. The low frequency is frequencies that are in lack, and it's typically a suppressed emotion. The numbers don't always necessarily mean much, but I do like to note if they're like really high off the charts or super low, because like when I'm super stressed, my high notes are like in the 20s. I've seen them in the 30s. So it's just kind of a fun thing to look at, but not necessarily important to reading the report. So you'll get 4 of these PDFs. This is the most like the imbalance. So it's the imbalance between self-critical and self-accepting. It is not one or the other. It is just that there's an imbalance there. This is the corresponding note. And then this is the positive and the negative emotions that you may be feeling. This aspect is not specific to you. It is specific to this imbalance, which corresponds with the note that was out of balance for you. So oftentimes people will say, oh, I definitely feel a lot of those positive, or I definitely feel a lot of those negative, or sometimes they feel a little mix of both, or it's different on different days. I recommend people to take the time to journal through some of it if it's something that they're wanting to work on. Because it can help you just kind of work through and move some of those emotions. You can do it while you're listening to your inner voice, which would also be super powerful. Listening to the inner voice that are customized frequencies just for you, playing and helping you to release emotion and have breakthroughs. So it's really amazing how it works on that level, and that also affects the body. Each of the bodies kind of highlights a specific area of main location that things are being affected. So these pinkish areas are ones that are mostly affected by the self-critical and self versus self-accepting imbalance. And then the color therapy, if you don't have the glasses, you can choose to wear that color for the day. You can look at something that is that color. You can, if you have like crystal bracelets, find one that's similar to that color and wear that. Or just kind of surrounding yourself with that type of a color for supporting your emotion. And then it shows you what the supportive note is, which is the sound that you are listening to, and then the supportive color and how it supports you. Now, if you just ran the scan with just the little microphone, that's where your report's going to stop. If you run it with that microphone and heartbeat for the vitals, you'll get the rest of this information. So it'll bring up the top 3 emotions. Again, I just ran this on myself and it's very accurate. I woke up kind of feeling a little frustrated. I had a lot of really weird dreams. I had definitely a lot of inner conflict. And I am definitely self-destructive at times, mentally. So, it's always fascinating. And again, I recommend people utilize those things to journal through or talk through with a therapist or just kind of dig into a little bit to help them work through them. The potential causes, I don't want you to get nervous when you see parasites come up because it, it's a category and not everything in the world is in the system. Now, I will say that parasites, specifically this one, has been coming up a lot on my report. There are emotional and other aspects of a lot of things. Parasites can be related to boundaries, and it's just been fascinating with the human tapeworm has been coming out because they clearly don't have a human tapeworm, but it's just fascinating to see like the emotional possibilities with that. So again, you don't have to dig super deep, but you can just kind of theorize and use this as education for yourself. Um, Food sensitivities that just came up for me were beef and some safflower oil. I have had beef this week, so my body might be struggling a little bit in breaking that down. I actually had some last night before bed, so that kind of makes sense. And safflower oil, I have no idea what was in the vinaigrette that I just ate last night, so that could also be at play for sure. That's something that I ate recently. Some vitals that might be out of balance, so I might consider taking zinc today. I might consider looking at sources of vitamin K. I might consider taking CoQ10. Um, it's all education. So if you know how to muscle test and see if you need those things and how much. Um, again, this is a pinpoint in time. So this is what I need right now. I don't need to be like, oh gosh, now I need to take these 2 supplements every single day. Just utilize it intuitively and know that it's like each moment. The fact that the spine comes up first is absolutely amazing. My back is in horrid condition right now because of how I've been sleeping recently. So it's recommending exercise in a pool. It's recommending exercising my core muscles, which I have diastasis recti, so I definitely need to work on that, like pelvic floor health area, and then increasing trace minerals. Trace minerals is something that comes up on mine a lot. I know that I need more minerals in my body. There's lymphatic with hydration, exercise again, trace minerals. So as you can see from this, I definitely need to move a little more specifically with my core. I need to make sure I'm getting some more hydration and I'm getting trace minerals. So that's part of that hydration aspect. For the respiratory support, it's also recommending deep breathing and chiropractic adjustments, which kind of goes back to the spine. So as you're looking through these, you can look through and see what's here and what is coming up over and over. So here's another spine thing. Here's some more sensitivities. This is literally what I ate yesterday. I love when that kind of stuff comes up. These are emotions that I can work on. These are vitals that I could potentially take or maybe look into them. The Cepheid has a lithium support now. So like I could broadcast myself that frequency if I don't have that type of a supplement. Um, Here's the lymphatic vessels. Again, the lymph was on the other one. The lymph is here again. I need to work on my lymphatic, my muscles, my spine. There's lungs again. So then looking at the suggestions, minerals, hydration. I really am dehydrated. Supporting collagen. So I'll add some collagen to my yogurt this morning for breakfast. Again, with the chiropractic, again, with moving, you're seeing that there's patterns already. Next one, fear versus confident. I'm skipping over some of the emotional stuff because you guys can look at your own reports. There's some more parasites. This one's related to cats. We do have a cat. So, just observing those types of things. There's more brain issues, immunoglobulins, so my immune system, EPA, elastase, my brain, totally understand that one. Liver, it definitely needs support. My heart. And then this last one, is my suppressed emotion, repetitive thinking versus creative thinking. It's not very suppressed. I'm very, very aware that I'm irritable right now, that I have emotional pain and a huge creative conflict because I'm working on too many things at once. Again, here's some more brain stuff. Brain spine, here's poultry. I have not had chicken in a while, but this is kind of indicating that if I were to choose to eat chicken in this moment, it might not digest very greatly. There's a little bit of thyroid, some B vitamins, gastric absorption, so digestive. There's my first little digestive situation. So my digestion seems like it might not be doing too terrible, other than the fact that a few food sensitivities have come up. But what's most going on with my body right now is my spine, my lymphatic, my muscles, all of those areas need focus. And of course, the hydration. And there's even here some the magnesium for cramping. So I have a magnesium lotion, so I could use that. So that is how I walk through the inner voice. Use it again as a tool for understanding what's going on emotionally. You can look at then the patterns for the other things to support your body. And it's a great way to just kind of start working on yourself. And kind of having direction and knowing exactly what your body needs. I personally love to listen to this while I'm looking at my report. And again, you can listen to it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or leave it on continuously until you just don't feel like you need it anymore. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll listen to it. And sometimes I can listen to it for like an hour while I'm doing things around the house. And other times I can listen to it for like 10 minutes and I'm like, you know what? I feel pretty good now. So it's kind of done its job. When you own your own software, this is recommended to run 2, 3, as many times a day as you need as a single report and listen to the audio because it's supporting your body, it's supporting your emotions. If you don't own the software, I recommend getting a report when you can and then listening to the same audio over and over to support. It might not be exactly what you need in that moment, but it'll still be supportive in some ways. But if you have the software, it's such a huge tool for working on your emotions in that moment. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that it was educational for you. I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or send me a message. Thank you for joining and have a great day.